Okay, I know what it looks like, but I swear to God this was supposed to be a short and low effort video. I don't think the short part exactly worked out. Also, there's no subtitles because they would clash too much with what I show on screen, and I don't want to completely overblow it like last time. So, if you can't understand what I'm saying, then I apologize in advance.
Try to complain less than before of my content, and so, to answer the two ultimate questions. Was it my fault, and have I tried to change? It was generally not my fault.
Okay, here we go again. Hey, yes, I said I wouldn't make another video, but as it turns out, nobody reads community posts of really small channels, and I would probably have to bring up the Arthraix thing in any future potential video anyways, so I just separate that into this final statement sort of thing. This is also kind of late because I was never really sure if and how I should make an About Arthraix Part 2, and this is the result of that. In any case, Arthraix released his drama response Part 1 and 2. Unfortunately, less people watch these videos overall than my video, as such for a lot of you, the opinion might still be one-sided. So I encourage you to watch my previous video and his responses before diving into this video. If you won't do that, I can't stop you though. I do not feel required to make a detailed response to his videos. It is simply better for both parties to not blow this out of proportion more than they should. As such, I will only give a brief overview of what I noticed, along with a few points I will talk about in more detail. Overall, both videos feature 16 things that were taken out of context, 13 direct lies, people's words were twisted to fit Arthraix's narrative 38 times, and people have been accused of being prideful or chasing clout 10 times. These numbers are based upon my own personal judgment and thus are not fully truthful. However, all of what I have mentioned are in the videos at least a few times. And now already onto the main points I want to talk about. Regarding shadow bans and the deletion of comments. Arthraix shows 3 rules. Be mature, no hate speech or instigation of drama, and remain civil. All completely normal and logical rules. However, these rules are only displayed on the YouTube app. As such, not everyone is going to see these rules, which includes me. It's not even going to give you a notification that tells you that you even got banned in the first place, and you won't immediately notice it since your own comments still show up for you. This combination makes it extremely unlikely that someone who Arthraix doesn't actively dislike and got shadow banned is going to know that they are shadow banned or even know the rules at all, making it basically a 0 probability that they will appeal for their ban. Something I think I should also be obvious is that under posts that discuss a drama-related topic, drama-related comments of all opinions, when they remain in a civil frame, should remain up. However, the rule of remain civil is up to the personal interpretation of the enforcer. As such, I want to note the following. Before Arthraix's initial response to my video, this post, was entirely deleted, almost half of its comments suddenly disappeared. Along with comments under his then most recent video telling him to address my video. Also the comments under the J video that were saying that Arthraix was not speaking truthfully about J. Unfortunately, I don't have these comments screenshotted, as such I would like to ask the people who made these comments to step forth. And finally, under the issues with the staff video, these 3 comments were also deleted. Especially this comment should under none of the 3 rules have been deleted, as it simply poses a question. But it has. It is not 100% the fault of YouTube hiding the comments when you don't turn on newest. It makes it seem as if you're actively trying to get rid of comments and users that you don't find favorable for yourself and your narrative. Same is the case when you shadow banned me for pointing out that you were spreading false information about Merget. Next up, at 6:57, Arthraix says the following.
Look at this post, right? So this is a guy that wants to give up on art. The first thing you do is say that he is mentally undeveloped.
Arthraix doesn't quite read out what I say, so I'll read you the excerpt. Now, first of all, it says in your profile that you are 13. And this is going to sound stupid, but due to the lack of brain development, your art might not have yet time to truly develop, as it might start to do now. This is referring to the fact he said he's been doing art for 8 years. I asked the guy who made the post if he thought I told him he's mentally underdeveloped. He said no. This was when I still was thinking about possible rebuttals to all of Arthraix's points. As such, you can see me saying I've been struggling to counter that. If you don't like how I worded what I said to the guy initially, I can totally understand that, and I could have worded it a lot better. At 9:23, Arthraix says this.
Which I haven't even started on the fact that their so-called controversy rule that stops you from criticizing staff for more than just basic things is just disguised as a no controversy rule whenever clearly have used it against me. Other users such as like Dizzy Jump are banned even though he instigates all kinds of other drama.
On the 18th of May 2026, Dizzy Jump released a document in which he criticized the E2Wiki staff team's backstage gossiping about specifically him. After some back and forth, the situation was resolved peacefully and the post is still kept up, although locked 8 days after it was made, as the situation kept developing. Both sides ended up doing things they shouldn't have, unnecessary extreme gossip for one, and leaking messages out of a private server, making some users feel uncomfortable for the other, but overall due to the positive outcome there's not much for me to say. As Arthraix will probably see this as bias in the staff, Dizzy Jump did not make opinionated edits or make remarks about how the staff is corrupt all the time, indirectly sparking drama against them in the wiki. Unorthodoxical said it best. You have a track record of bringing up past drama and attempting to incite anger within this community. This is a formal reminder of the discussions guidelines, which also applies to comments, especially that of Rule 4. Continuing to spread accusations and negativity is unwelcome here. Thank you. At 20 minutes 36 seconds the following is said.
Important stuff like mental health, potential, I will say something, because I don't like it when we say potential.
You know, this sounds like you're really just trying to delegitimize anyone that doesn't actually go through with.
Which in a vacuum, it might sound like that. However, in my own video a little bit later at 44:58 I say this.
Do not want to hear a singular thing about, oh, but he has faked these suicide attempts for attention and to play the victim role. No, that doesn't count. As long as you do not have definitive proof that the suicide attempt was fake, then you have no right to say it was a fake suicide attempt. Just so that we are clear on this one.
Arthraix here, despite very clearly having watched the entire video, or so I would presume, deliberately left out the part where I clear up any potential confusion that the previous statement might have caused. Before we move on to what I have to say about part 2, an important side note. eTop, and your own version of SCLP, is not a private server Arthraix. As much as you kick everybody you don't like out, it doesn't stop a random guy from going to the server with no bad intentions to doomscroll through the messages of the server and see what you have said there. If you don't want what you say there to be visible for the wider community or for alts made to leach as much information out as possible, then you would have to kick out everyone you don't know or trust and fully close the server for the public. And now on to part 2. In part 2 I take on more of a minor role and Matrix becomes the center of attention. He gets over half the video's runtime in which Arthraix explains what happened between him and Matrix. I'm going to shorten this down as best as I can. The stuff that Arthraix shows about Matrix is definitely extremely bad, and him messaging Arthraix in the beginning of this year is also essentially acting behind the backs of his friends, some of which also had prior quarrels with Arthraix. The still flawed nature of Matrix is best demonstrated in the fact that the server I was invited in to join got locked down completely because of something Matrix did. However, Arthraix here is leaving out the extremely important detail that he saw a chance in Matrix abilities and actively wanted to use them against others, and then crashed out when Matrix said that he didn't think doxing was the right thing anymore or didn't show progress on the doxing operations he himself wanted to be done. Across the segment with Matrix, he continuously makes him out as the root cause for all the terrible behavior he participated in. But we have to all remember that none of the images that are available to me show that he had any remorse attempting to send Matrix at people who during his time had drama with him. Short examples. 4 transgender people, 3 of SCLP staff, at least I think they are, of which he actively sought out the emails and made demands to Matrix, Microblixel and Azite. His apology at the end of the section also only addresses the fact that he shouldn't have become friends with Matrix, which is true. However, he is ignoring most of his part in taking responsibility in that situation. I have asked Matrix to make a comment about the usage of the N-word and general extremely bad behavior that Arthraix has shown. What he responded with is insight into his personal life and what he was involved in. You will be given some time to pause and read, as it is a lot. It is still important to remember that Matrix did do all of these things and to hold him accountable for them. He has a long road ahead of him, and that road will not be without its fair share of obstacles. But he is at least trying to improve. But do you know who also has a long road ahead of him, but doesn't feel responsible to walk it? Arthraix. A new video from him talks about events that happened a while ago. His denied curator application from around May of 2025. The allegations in this video are also quite immense, but aside from one not okay statement from Zacro, lacks proof to back up these claims entirely. The video is mostly about how, despite the fact that his application got denied for behavior, the two mods that leaked that fact were also not the best people behaviorally. I have not gone into detail about behavior that got Arthraix's application denied last time, which is a major oversight on my part. So it's time we take a closer look. The dates of each image will be noted in this corner when necessary, in the format day, month, year. Keep in mind, the curator application denial was around May 2025. Arthraix met Matrix in May 2025 also, and ended his relations with him in, I believe, to be around late August or September 2025. And without further ado, I used to list mod for Arthraix a long time ago, and for a short time he also list mod for me. I cannot even begin to tell you how many times he accused me of stealing his idea of the AVSCTL when I made the SCLP, which let's not forget he wanted to list mod for. Let's also not forget when he tried to dox me, which was mentioned in the video, good job on digging it up. Just really aggressive towards me for no reason, even when I explained to him time and time again why all of his claims against me were completely false.
It was generally not my fault. I cannot deny the fact that there's people like Matrix who clearly manipulate me. Things related to manipulation, I absolutely do not stand by what had happened there. I want to make it clear that the stuff that happened during the time that he had manipulated me was not my fault. And yes, I want to take accountability for some of the mistakes I have made, but clearly that does not define who I am.
No, not that way. Elizabeth is brainless. I hope that bastard dies. The thing is, the etolog list only even stays relevant because there's a few actually bad people on there, but the rest of it's just protect the children. When Halo got doxxed, that should have been the oh yeah, maybe stop, but nope, he doubled down. Oh, and don't get me started on how Kostas is staff. Their ban list is basically just a bunch of immature kids LARPing as TV show judges with India level corruption rates. I gave so much feedback to the creator, then he had the audacity to remove me from the special thanks list. Creator is Muslim, by the way. How do we know that was deliberate? Because your video came out on the 21st of September. Something like 30 and 40% of them are trans. And why does this matter also? I don't take kindly to people who are selfish and put a halt to my own dreams and goals. I always wanted to be staff for Ito, and people like her are why I am not. Because they were selfish. So now you're just making up rumors of ban evading. This is why you aren't staff anymore. You're lying in irresponsibleness. Don't care if you got demoted or if you resigned on your own, but you clearly show you would not make for a good staff member anymore. In fact, all you have done is just insult me and over Owo, acting like you're still some sort of staff member, even though you're clearly not staff anymore. What a surprise. Just another white-colored user. After directly insulting over Owo, you then act like everyone here has spoken before or whatever, and then explain to me how you should also be punished for going after specific users. When a game about mostly kids has an 18-year-old making 80-minute hate videos, the I need a job 26. I would rather lose 100 subs right now than ever have him as a subscriber. That motherfucker can cut off his balls and do a favor for society to lock himself in a wooden cabin in Eastern Russia. That disgrace has no right to be subbed to my channel after threatening me for the past 7 months. As I've already mentioned, your presence is kind of making some people want more active in there a little uncomfortable. Like who? What have I done? You scared or something? I feel like you're resorting to a call-out video over something this minor. I shouldn't mention my friends' names for their sake.
And he had made me say a lot of bad things about people that I shouldn't have, and what we should really be encouraging is love and not hate for our other people. It's this user, by the way.
This is the leaker. Face the consequence of your actions. This is, by the way, genuinely hateful. Showing who leaked the video along with face the consequence of your actions is actively encouraging harassment. I know the love not hate statement is directed towards marginalized groups, but you can't do that. LMAO this, I can't say that, bro. Things by people are homophobic. Hey, I mean, if 100 IQ is the median IQ, then 50% of people are below that. Ito's writer is stuck on a $15 VM Game Pass, which is no better than companies who only build luxury condos instead of affordable middle or low income housing because it's the most profitable. And the Ito staff will certainly end up doing exactly that once they leave Ito. Unless you're Halo, then you can manipulate all of Roblox. After you realize most of Ito hates you for trying to make a dictatorship bot, dude's gonna end up being Bazooki too if he isn't stopped as soon as possible. Like, I generally don't think I need to do anything if dude's gonna end up bankrupt by Roblox anyway, since if he's in debt he could go to jail, and he's done way too much scraping on Discord already. Like, his career is held up by hopes and dreams at this point. I'm pretty sure Ludovo's the only other Roblox replacement that is like even trying, but they ain't even going to do shit for Obbies. I already talked to its owner. And now Halo already has more people in the soon-to-be Bazooki Land 2.0 than them. He turns 18 next year and gets drafted to Donbass by the army. Please. Wait, he's 18, same guy who started bitching around about death threats by some iPad kid who couldn't control his anger. No better than Trump, draft dodger. I would like to announce the immediate blacklisting and removal of all of Azite's game due to their game attempting to remove my house without notice to anyone. Do not patron those who seek to be corrupt. Azite was always an incompetent owner of this game who took things far too seriously, having demoted one of his devs for over them announcing something he did not deem the screenshots got off here, so fill out the sentence. Do you want me to publicly deface you? Because the reason I said creators request us to at least not influence my community to see you as someone who's, I don't know, transphobic and extremely hateful. This conversation has been screenshot and recorded. Thank you for revealing valuable evidence as to your corruption.
Doxing is a terrible thing that shouldn't happen to anyone, and the things that Matrix tried to manipulate me for were ultimately wrong, and no one, not me, not even my opponents, deserve to be hurt by him. So there's lots of people in the Matrix community that are rather immature and react rather aggressively to things without thinking twice about it. That is not the person I want to be. He was literally incentivizing me to list more and more people to go after.
You will conduct a doxing operation against Azite for removing my towers from his game without my permission or knowledge. He has indeed fallen for the trap of the liberals. You will need to immediately consult VOTR and conduct the exposure operation as fast as possible. I have removed all listing of Azite's game from all of eTop as a result. I'm writing my final document. Maybe I live another day, but you better be quick about taking action because hey, I can't even predict what I'll do. You will also need to dox Micropic soon. That is the truth, and if you don't want your ass dragged into the drama, would you rather I make a video against the allegations including you or Matrix? Or you can take the most reasonable way out. So now you're threatening to blackmail me if I don't lie about you? Not even they have helped. Have you talked to them about all this, rather than me, lol? Yes, and they aren't worth shit. That's not something you should say about them. You told me to give up on this account's identity. You said it yourself. If you want a fresh start, you honestly should. Now answer me, are they worthless? If you want me to do that, answer me now, asshole. Lol, you twisted this in every way you can. Of course they aren't worthless. I don't have IP resetters and data removers. But that's what you said here. Your words, not mine. Everyone has value, lol. You don't believe in me for shit. But sometimes it's better to start afresh than fix something. You want me to leave them? Believing you and believing in you are two different things. I don't believe a lot you're saying since you're asking me to lie, but I believe if you made a new identity you'd be much better off. You don't need anything fancy. Just make a new Discord, lol. So I would assume that didn't happen? Kinda did. I sent him farm footage because we were talking about the farming industry. But then probably not in the extent Arthraix is framing it as. I know our opinions on it. It was a video of chickens on a farm and I was arguing it was inhumane. This was back when Arthraix was inside my server. So essentially the abhorrent treatment of the animals there. And then he went around saying I DM'd him gore. Absolute Arthraix move. Please do not kill yourself. Like, actually, please don't do that. Are you being serious or just having a crash out right now? Are you generally suicidal? But you don't even want to know how long I've been suicidal. It's been nearly like 3 fucking weeks! Today was fucking nail in the coffin, man. Except there's actually going to be a nail in the coffin very soon. Dude, please don't. If suicide doesn't fix things, murder will. Do you really think it's worth it? What do you enjoy in life? Do you want to never experience any of your favorite things again? Everything that was great is now gone, man. I hope you're gonna be okay. They're opping on me, they're trying to shadowban me by removing my admin management perms. I'll just murder them if I don't get what I want. My death for their death. But Jimmy is going to die. I'm going to kill him. and I'm not going to feel any pain when I see the blood drip out of him. Please be reasonable. Even if you did want to do that, how would you? You couldn't. Don't do something stupid. Holy shit, you're all fucking pussies, every fucking person I meet. See, before Matrix framed me as an unforgivable doxer, I was generally close to redemption. You never were. I'm sorry to tell you the truth, but look at yourself. What happened to you? You had so much potential that you threw it on this. You could have been on top of the world. If I'm unforgivable, that means I have to die. Therefore, you're telling me to kill myself. You must be thrown out. Don't worry. I screenshotted your connections to Jew.
I want to say that I condemn racist, transphobic, xenophobic, all kinds of hateful behavior.
You know he's Indian. He Indian. I can't say that this Indian, I can't say that either, not gonna lie. Yep, fuck that Indian, I can't say that. You know Warren is Indian. Was it the Indian? I can't say that. Who said that? Oh my god, shut up you liberal, I cannot say that. Next time you play the Leave Critics community card, you're going on a block list. Fucking Austin Painter here. This guy was talking about improving my reputation in October 2025. His little Austin Painter regime is gonna crumble with my next video, cause of course, remember, this was to get a dumb response out of them, not to actually get unbanned, because I know they wouldn't. So please just tell me what info I shouldn't include to make sure I don't get any voters demoted. I know your ass is ignoring my unban from Naps Towers either way. So really, now that I think about it, give me a reason I should make sure you aren't demoted from the voters list. This is your last chance, otherwise I ain't helping you ever again. In fact, I got more info from Kostas that they ain't even gonna lower me, so nothing's actually gonna happen. Nice work, Nap, you really do a lot of amazing work for these people. You totally don't see anything wrong with a dictatorship that punishes people for being in an abusive relationship and is run by racists who call others transphobic for no actual reason. You know what, Nap? Fuck you. I know you're never even going to respond about unbanning me from Nap's house because I know you won't. You're an asshole and you know it. You have not shown me you are better than the people behind Etolog, so I have no reason to not lump you in with the rest of them. The other shit they do, they're the reason we call trans people pedophiles. And again, the only solution to oppression is counter-violence. Mass, I don't think I can say that, is only solved with mass execution. That's why only competent people such as myself belong in power, and these dangerous community figures must be toppled. How's the dog's operational cafe going? Are we still stuck at that image of him being a fucking... I can't say that. Someone's after me, you need to be quick about the cafe attack. Oh wait, I found out who did it! You are to take out all of these 4 users immediately. This account literally got a 2-year-long warning because of one of these poor people. First, a friend or former partner of a trans person, also possibly trans. Second one, also they're trans. Second one, troller and supposedly trans. And last one, liberal psychopath. Deaf to all, I can't say that. You are the backup for if 4Omega refuses to announce this, which I know he's likely to, since he's a fucking pussy. Now don't worry, I can give you all 3 of these guys' emails, they were all staff at one point. In fact, I'm pretty sure we can dox Jimmy. You are to make an announcement of how SCLP was illegitimately founded and TJXer and Spitfire will be subsequently banned. Evidence will be provided by me if needed. Is this clear? Jimmy's email, don't forget he cost 1011, Spitfires. And I was correct predicting he'd be a pussy. A bit late, but here's the TJ and Exos emails. Thank me later. Not a favorable group to be associated with. Oh yeah, and all of the mod team should be doxed. In fact, I suggest you basically dox all the staff except the lobby builders, except Nova Sky. As for which curators to leave safe, I think it's more just dox Zack and maybe leave the rest. Like, I know Tammy's I don't think I can say that, but at least he wasn't in dozens of harassment scandals. Mod team can all die, like I said. The 2 admins entirely obliterate, both owners eliminate. Especially Atronels, make sure he isn't safe at home. Same for Kailas. And for verified builders, Kaila is a VP though. Okay, most VPs haven't done hold acts, but some have. Ball Ether, get that person out, but unfortunately that I don't think I can say that didn't care when they were doxed. So you need to send in the SWAT teams and tell anti-trans groups about their location. Okay, most other VPs are just, I don't think I can say that. Freenetter and Rage viewers make Austin Painter jokes, just exile them. Kaloi find a way to exile him mostly because he's friends with all the bad people, but he hadn't done much by himself. But he will leave when they're gone anyways. Then Artemis and Vincent, 2 extremely incompetent admins. They tried to warn me for trying to go after the user who encouraged someone to dox themselves. By the way, the victim was underage, and so of course Ito staff tried to encourage harassment here. 2 wrongs don't make a right, and these Ito discussions don't realize that. Nova Sky, yep, 100% dox this motherfucking bitch, he was encouraging harassment and he may or may not have banned me. Amazon Blocker, kill these sons of a bitch, I swear these people do 0 work, they spent 8 months on the April Fool's event, and Blocker owns T, which is an extremely toxic server full of racist, homophobes and transphobes. Camel, they said something I didn't like once, and I think they meant I was horribly. I think they should just be publicly shamed, not like straight up dogs. Black man, damn John, kill his son of a bitch, bro. He's a close friend of Cafe, which is death sentence worthy if I'm being honest. Cause this guy was half the reason I got banned. He's also a really incompetent mod. He never responds. Ravenous Nerva is friends with Ravenous Nico and C-Terms, who called me slurs in the Ito discussion channel using bypass like, make sure these 3 get killed off. Drift, yeah, just dox him because I think he was a horrible person to work with doing CCT development and he demoted me suspiciously 2 hours before I was banned. Coney has been corrupted by the Ito staff, he's become a much worse person since. Levin has done 0 work and mental health isn't an excuse. I carried Ito for literally the past 7 months after nearly attempting suicide and being in a horrible state. I still did more work than every single staff member combined, multiple times more still. Zach, doxing won't be enough, you need to have him falsely accused as a terrorist who escaped the United States and is hiding in Canada. He was doxed before and he was so chill that when the doxers showed him an outdated photo of him, he took a photo of his current self. You need to straight up have his life ruined. And so yeah, that's the entire staff team, so here's a list of people that need to be taken out, ranked in order of how much I hate them and how bad of a person they actually are. Which is actually the same. I've never been wrong, it's just that people have falsely framed me for so many things by now. Dogs threat you, I can't say that. Victim blaming, you're no better than Kaila, you fucking, I can't say that. I'm not victim blaming, no better than Kaila. I am still speaking with Obimania staff, man. Surprised you're not a submissive cum slut, no better than those Ito. I'm going through a previous conversation and God, I fucking despise you. The Obimania staff don't even want you to be in the OOE. Send the DPOS and demo, I'm leaking everything. Are you fucking blackmailing me? Matrix has basically kept telling me to fix things for me in the community and eliminate people who had done bad things to me. Then decided to just cut off everything with me, and he was unable to convince the rest of the OM staff to unban me. I consider this a betrayal as he was a very close friend for the past 4 months. I decided to cut off everything because I started to feel like this would turn into a toxic and abusive relationship. Considering you were yelling at me and then you decided to threaten me with leaking everything. Also, this truth is, while yes, the Ito staff circle is awful and a lot of people are now waking up in this topic, I don't want to actually harm dogs or force the staff. It's a very morally ambiguous thing to do. It also puts me at risk. I'm not as mentally strong as you think. I grew up and changed quite a bit in the span we've been friends. I no longer believe that dogs is the right thing to do. And I also think there's just a better ways to cope with this than revenge. Sooner or later the Ito staff circle will change in some form, and since the community already has pressure on them, most likely there will be a positive change. Though, whether or not it was caused by us, will you really be redeemable after that? Perhaps if you actually decide to show you were ever making fucking progress and actually communicate things instead of hide them, then act like you were the victim when you were hiding things, I'd have trusted you a bit better. Yes, I was angry because you actually didn't show progress. I told you so fucking much I was being transparent about things. I felt that you would crash out at me if I said the truth and admitted that I wasn't really doing anything significant. This conversation has been screenshotted and recorded. Thank you for admitting you're no better than Gamma, claiming you were the victim when you let this happen. That you caused it! And the same thing again, thank you for admitting you did this entirely out of your own pride and selfishness. I was not dick riding the Obimania staff for my own pride. I never did that, I actually tried. I questioned the timeout. I defended you when the staff brought up the fact you seemed to be complaining about everything. I told you I was not going to return to Obimania already, no matter what happened as a result. What happened with the AHOSCT, the same thing. I did it before you said you just gave up with Obimania entirely. Good job on admitting you're in this for the money. Where's the connection here? I don't even have premium. You actually care more about the game than you ever did about me. Why do you care so much about Obimania? No bro, even after you said I tried to clear up your image, because you were bought an Obimania dev channel. Even Lightsynth is smarter than you. He left Ito when he was being pressured into forced ideologies. I care about Obimania because I just think it's a really cool game and it gets better with the updates and everything. And primarily because the community actually cares for me. Yes, because now you are given the gift of getting too many people to kiss your ass. I'm gonna be honest, the only reason I ever touched Obimania was because of you. And because I lost your trust, I have no reason to be involved in it. Several times I asked you what I could do to change as a person and you said nothing. Actually I did that with at least a dozen other people and they said nothing. You say nothing, then blame me for my actions. That happened? Shit, I'm sorry. God, I can't say that. I told you so many times, so many fucking times, you little fuck. Maybe because I can't say that. I do help people, but I often get overwhelmed not understanding things properly. I forget them or just, shit, I really am a little fuck. You have short sleeper syndrome. You get 5 extra hours compared to everyone else. Fucking hypocrite, you know better than Gamma. Next time I see one of your little fuckers using a furry profile picture to get a cute reaction, so you can look like you're right when you're blatantly evil. You destroyed everything I had fucking left. Every fucking thing, you destroyed it. Please calm down, I give you Ito back. Because you knew it was dead, you slow fuck. You knew that with me as an owner again I would die, and that no one else could take on owner. I didn't even consider it dead. I gave it to you because you literally made Ito. The list is yours. How thin of slices do you want me to slice your fingers? You're the worst creation God has ever let walk on this earth. You tricked me into thinking things would improve. You made false promises. Liar! Filthy liar! Get back here, you fucking rotten sheep! God, why does everyone I meet fucking do this to me? Every fucking person betrays me. I can't give it up to anyone. Do you realize what you're saying right now? This is what I said when I said toxic friendship. Congrats! You actually hurt someone you apparently hate now. Are you happy? I would do anything to hurt you! If I could jump off my apartment knowing you'd be tortured in hell for eternity, I would!
I want to make it clear that the stuff that happened during the time that he had manipulated me was not my fault. And yes, I want to take accountability for some of the mistakes I have made, but clearly that does not define who I am, and with many people trying to continue slandering me for...
I really hope so. My apologies for a potentially cringe attempt at voice acting. I do not have the talent for that. Now, Arthraix. As much as you present yourself as the wholly innocent side of the story, you are not. You are rude, incredibly disrespectful, use color, sexuality and identity to whatever way you see beneficial for you at the moment, and hold onto grudges others have long since moved past, trying your very hardest to get back at those people in ways far beyond the reasonable. And there was no event that kickstarted this behavior. You were always like this. Before my video, before Matrix, before the curator application, before 1020, and even before whatever your first community interaction ever was. Time and time again you became friends with people. And time again these people end their friendships and completely change their opinions on you. That does not happen out of coincidence. It does not happen without reason. Repeatedly you spun people up into toxic relationships, some trying their hardest to help you, going far beyond all legality. And when they don't meet your expectations, well, to put it in the nicest way, you don't forgive, you don't forget, and perhaps you have felt the impact of that behavior in your personal life. And you don't change that. You never have, and I'm not sure what it takes to make it change. 3 months after my video you still delete comments, still spread hatred and accusations, and still dig up drama from so long ago that the people that were involved in them have long since lost interest in you. I don't want to deny the fact that you go to therapy, but I don't think you are working out the right things there. People don't hate you because they are in a collective consciousness of pro-Ito propaganda, also just mindlessly hate anyone who opposes the staff. In fact, this was never about Ito. Ito is merely a part of all this. It's about you, your hateful behavior, the harm you wanted to cause, and your innate lack of taking accountability for anything that you have done. But that's something that we all struggle with, don't we? Welcome to Drama Square. You see, over the course of making my video and its result, I have interacted with a lot of people, a good chunk of which being intertwined with each other in some form. I've essentially acted as the neutral force in between all of it, with the only common denominator among all being a disliking towards Arthraix, but somewhat individually tell me to not interact with the other. And it is incredibly annoying, as little as my involvement in it all truly was. But everyone is guilty of something, and so are all the people that shared their experiences with Arthraix with me and those I worked with. You see, as much as Arthraix has done terrible things, that does not absolve us to be free of guilt of what we do to him either, or any bad things we do in general. I want to call out everyone collectively. I can't cover everyone involved in the matter obviously, but I want to make it clear that just because you have done bad, no matter how extreme, you are still able to make valid criticism of the other side. Arthraix can still make valid criticism towards people and the Ito staff, despite all that he has said and tried to do to them. We must all be held accountable for our misdeeds. And of course, since it's only fair, I will start with myself. My initial video about Arthraix is by no means perfect. The video was in general so overloaded with elements, when I tried to proofread it myself, I started to zone out and not even get half the things I was trying to say and show with how much was on screen at the time. Though I cannot recall if perhaps I was tired during the time I did that. One guy was being very direct about the fact that it took essentially forever for me to actually start making any real points about Arthraix, which is true. And one thing I saw more than once, tone. While the jokes and mockery might be well suited for an audience that already has come to view Arthraix as a laughingstock, aka basically the entire community, it is extremely disrespectful towards the one being addressed, that being Arthraix himself. Despite what happened, it did not justify the way the video was presented at all. And in the same vein, the poll I rigged, I shouldn't have. It was mean-spirited and pulled just for laughs, and as Arthraix rightfully pointed out, not very professional. I hope that I could improve upon these criticisms with this video, which also means further criticism about if I improved or not is welcomed. And now for the rest. Marketer. I don't know of anything that I could bring up. The shortened dog from Arthraix turned out not to be a joke dog after I looked at it myself, though for Arthraix it might just be missing certain aspects. Though you have to be mentioned here regardless. Not James Stacks. You are going too overboard with the edgy passive aggressive of your alt account. Tone it down. Monado. The following segment is dedicated to the people who wanted me to do a Monado exposal. Monado reached out to me first and I got morbidly curious what they had to tell me, so I accepted the friend request. They wanted to show me some of their interactions with Arthraix from a good while ago, as you might have noticed. And as long as you don't bring up politics, they are actually pretty chill to talk to, mostly. That being said, holy shit dude, what are you even saying? Do I need to even add any commentary? If you see nothing wrong with these posts, then I'm sorry, an exposal won't help you anymore. What would they even be posting on their Twitter account? Oh, okay, I think that says it all. Blatantly obvious racism coupled with a dangerous level of white supremacy, bigotry, and completely warped takes on reality. At least they don't delete any of their comments. Which brings me to an odd fear that they may or may not be doing this on purpose to get reactions out of people. We may never know. Sakuro, I think at this point you should know what people don't like about you. Unnecessary crash outs and suboptimal behavior. Also, the statement might have not intended to come across as encouraging harassment, however, it did not help the situation at all and shouldn't have been made. And now a general message for the Ito staff. You'll have to be more transparent when it comes to drama or anything in general, and not sweep shit under the rug like you did with the silent demotion of Saturnal Nova and overlooking harassment towards Helena. Also, you'll have to make a proper statement for why there's a lack of updates this year, since last year was chock full of them, but in a channel where everyone can see it. Don't explain potential reasons as to why inside random channels in Discord, which is mostly the Tower Dev channel, but whatever. Lay off the secrecy as much as some of the community can be just needlessly toxic. Matrix. I think I've been over it a billion times at this point and you are more than aware about it. Offensive black humor, weird statements, attempted doxing, and whatever the fuck you were involved in the past. Though based on what I've been told recently, you are very much aware and are trying to do better, and I wish you good luck on that, but always remember what you were responsible for. Unless that gives you a bad mindset, don't let that stuff actively drag you down. And lastly, Arthraix. Like Matrix, you have said terrible things about others and actively wanted to threaten their livelihood. You have to accept accountability for these things, but you haven't. And that is your biggest problem. You cannot take accountability for anything, despite the undeniable truths that you don't want to be real. Even without Matrix, you have said and done things you shouldn't have. And one more thing I have to add. I'm not sure whether you are doing this despite the Rollock staff, but your list mods in eTop are an array of interesting people. One has been shown to use slurs, another is known for odd racist and homophobic remarks, and the final one has for his age dated a person far too young for him. And that is all. Remember that we, in one way or another, will be accountable for some things. And none of us are infallible. That goes for all of us. That means we of course do not have to double down on every little thing that happens, but especially for much more severe things, nothing will change if no one is held accountable for them. and evil cannot justify more evil. Oppression does not justify violence, because violence breeds violence. And violence only ends with civility. And as such, a final word to the general community and all of its members in general. Stop making fun of Arthraix. I know I am guilty of it too, but throwing constant mockery and jokes at his expense has brought us nowhere, and it doesn't contribute anything meaningful to discussions surrounding him. It is rude and has become stale, so just stop it. In the same vein, I would like to ask for everyone, particularly of those with Warlock Association, yes, I'm talking to you, Kostas, to remove their alts from his servers. We already have everything. Everything is proven. Leave it the way it is. It has already become obvious that nothing we will do will make his accountability known to him, so there's no need to find more to prove it. He alone should now be responsible for his future, without our constant pressure from spy alts, jokes and mockery. Thank you. And that was all regarding this topic I wanted to say. With this video I want to now distance myself from all of this and move my feet out of the Ito drama sphere. What everyone I mentioned will do after this video will not be of my concern, and I will not involve myself in anything else regarding Arthraix unless I absolutely have to for whatever reason. Any other further questions are to be directed into the comments or my Discord direct messages. Don't fret to tell me what you think, whether it's positive or negative, just don't be rude about it. Oh yeah, that also goes to you, Arthraix. Response after response over, I'm done with internet drama. But what is this remaining part of the video? Don't worry, this is completely unrelated to the rest of the video. I just wanted to thank everyone for the completely unprecedented immense support and feedback on my last video. I honestly did not expect that video to just blow up the way it did. When I release it, I hope for like at least 1,000 views, because you know I wanted the effort of over 1.5 months worth of working on it to pay off somehow. But then all of a sudden the views increased at an unexpected rate, and I honestly stopped caring about what Arthraix even had to say, and I was just happy about everyone's reception to it. I got a bunch of people DMing and pinging me about it, asking me questions regarding the video and talking about Arthraix. And one guy who was yeah. Of course, I also got valid criticism that I hopefully managed to address earlier in the video, and again I hope to have built upon them. And for the future I also hope to retain the criticisms when it comes to more serious topics. However, I don't want to make my channel solely about drama, as much as my now 5 public videos make it seem like it will. Should I make more videos in the future, however, I want to either make game reviews and analysis or talk about things I'm generally passionate about, which includes not just Ito stuff. Because in all honesty, this drama stuff is insanely soul draining. You love track. But seriously, I don't want to make another one of these, whether it be about Arthraix or anyone else. I'm not cut out for this shit. Again, thanks for y'all's feedback and support, and I welcome the I hope I counted correctly, 67. No, I'm not making a joke. New subscribers to this channel. I hope y'all are going to have fun waiting eternally for videos that will never happen to come out. But holy shit, 67 people. Before I released my video, it was just 15. Genuinely insane jump. Thanks again. Okay, the video is over for real now. See you all again whenever.
Gonna start.